Okay guys, I'm going to be going to USDJPY to do basically a 7 pip scalp. Now I've already told the guys in the squad what's going on with this. It has been selling. It is risky, so I've got to be a bit careful with it. But what we can see is the US is sort of still pretty darn weak. JP has some strength in it. Okay. Now, one of the issues that we have is the dollar is gaining ground. So this is why it's going to be basically just a quick scalp. Now, what I'm looking to do is get about 7 pips. Just drop that order in. And what I'm doing here is, you can see the crescent there. Let me just make this a bit bigger. You can see the crescent there. So I'm looking for the break. And then I'm looking to run it down into these levels. Now, the higher I can get it up, the better. Now, ideally, so that's probably a nice area. I'm just going to follow green candles up, okay? Now, if it triggers in, brilliant. I will stage it up to this black line up there and get some size in. Now, I've already got petrol in the tank that I can use. Because I've had a reasonable sort of morning, just following off the back of something I was looking at yesterday actually. So I've got 400 quid to play with, so I've got plenty of money that I can use to get this scalp. Now, it takes money to make money, always remember that, guys. And sometimes if you've only got little money, you have to build it up. Case in point, I was going to close this off this week, but I decided to kind of run it a little bit further because I'm about ready to pull the plug on what's going on here. So I'm going to just take that out. Okay, so that's added another little bit to the pot here. Now let me kind of explain what's going on. Now, with Bitcoin, you have various different little surges. And I needed it to get down onto here, and I've been staging it as it came down. Very, very simple process. Okay, so it's 422. You might be thinking to yourself, well, what's 422? That's sod all. Well, it depends on how you look at it. So if I just pull my growth tracker on and put 422 in there, what it's now telling me is I've done 2.3% for the day. Now, every single day I have achieved more than 2% over the last 23 days. Now, what that's done for me is it's taken a balance of 15 quid to 184. Now, this means it becomes meaningful. And it's all about, well, if you haven't got any money, you have to work your way into it. And that's what this is all about. Now, I'll quickly just show you where it all came from. I've done it a couple of times. This is pretty much the end of this now, so I was just going to run it to 200 quid because I only wanted 100, as you saw on my notes. But there you go, 15 quid, and then I've got nowhere to go. So there's all the tickets. Don't get them right all the time, but there's all the tickets right the way down to 106, well, thick end of 170 quid's worth of profit. Okay, now when people say it's impossible in one thing and another, there's the evidence. Okay, and we'll get rid of this account and move it over to this side because this has just come up. But what that proves is if you apply common sense to the market and you work in just little steps over and over, you get something meaningful. Where people go wrong is where they jump in from strategy to strategy, waste of time. They all work. If you're happy with what you're doing, fine. Some are worse than others. Some are full of buzzwords and they're just basically recycled garbage. Don't fall for it. Fall for what you use. If you're happy with it, fine. Don't oversize. If you saw that was built with 10p positions. It's all it is, 10p. I make £1, I cash it out. I make 40 pence, I cash it out. And all these pounds and 40p's, etc. add up into something meaningful. Now, if I continue with that, it'll then get to 200 quid and I'll start dealing with 20 pence. So it's not a pound anymore, it's £2. And that's how I built my accounts over the years. And when you see my Vanguard, people is like going, wow, that's amazing. How long did it take you to do it? Well, it took me years to do it. You know, it's like nearly 4 years old, that Vanguard. Started with small accounts, but I just kept on recycling and doing the same thing over and over and over. And it was pulling in around 25 to 30,000 a year. And it still is. So keep an eye on the updates on that. And the only thing that I can stress is if you put the work in and you're willing to just methodically work through, the rewards are there for you guys. And they're there. And I do this day in, day out just to show you that it's possible. And everybody who kicks off, every single one of them, are normally gamblers who have got fucking no clue what they're talking about. And because they can't do it, it means you can't do it. Well, I can't fly an aeroplane. But it's not to say somebody else can't. So, you know what I'm doing. I'll come back to you with a few pearls of wisdom. In the comments, if you sort of ask a talking point. When I come to the end of these videos, I always do a little bit of a monologue. I'll address what you talk about. So drop it in the comments what's on your thought. And it's not always about chart. And the one thing that I will stress is stop looking for the perfect entry. If you're looking for the perfect entry, you will always fail. Always fail. Look at the narrative of the chart, what it's trying to tell you, where it's trying to go, and then target appropriately. If you get that right, it forgives a bad entry. But if you put a bad entry in and you haven't got that right, you're screwed. Just something for you to think about. Let's play this out and see what happens. Okay guys, a quick interlude because I'm asked on pretty much every video a couple of questions. Who do I use and what platform do I use to build small accounts? Well, it's very simple. I come to Black Bull because you can trade with any amount of money that you choose. You've got over 26,000 products. So if you're Forex, indices, shares, commodities, you're going to find it. And they've got excellent world-leading leverage, which you can use to open up an asset and get your positions in. And also the spreads are fantastic. These are the companies that I use to build up. From here, I take it over into the fivers. I have never had a problem getting paid off these, as you can see. And one of the beauties of the fivers at the moment is they're introducing new programs and platforms all the time. They've now recently come back over into the US. So you guys can now take advantage of the prop. And you've got C Trader. And you've got the 3 programs here to choose from, which are very cost effective. Now, to give you an example, there's an account there, 157. You might be thinking, wow, what's that got to do with anything? Well, it is Black Bull, but let's see where it came from. Well, if I take this right to the very top, you'll see it started with £15, and then there's all of the trades running through. Don't get it right all the time, but running through £142 worth of profit, giving me 157. Well, if that's the case, I can now go and buy a prop fund and then feed those funds back into the live to push it forward. Now, if you're interested in any of these, come along and visit my website. You will see everything that I do, and there's extra discounts and exclusive links for both the companies. And both companies use the following platforms, which is TradingView, CTrader, and MetaTrader. My personal choice is MetaTrader, but it's all there for you, so you're on the same page, whichever.
I'd buy that for $1.
Good luck. Catch you soon. Let's get back to the video. Okay guys, so there you are. That was done in seconds, so kind of waited for the 11 o'clock candle, 4 minutes in after a little bit of chat, and the trade took, you know, not even a minute or so, and it was finished. So drill as always, take my tickets out, and there you go, 35 quid added into the pot. And bush straight down. Now, one of the good things, and this is one of the beauties of why I was pushing that target up a little bit to start with. Look here. It went straight to that level. But if I had the order there, it wouldn't have triggered the profit because it wouldn't have had enough to get through the spread. So setting it back slightly was the way forward. And then I'd allowed it to close the trade off. And then what's it done? Well, it's turned round. Now, I'd already sort of been speaking to the guys about this in the Discord. And now if I pull this across, they would have seen the video breakdown of what I was doing. And I was already into it sort of like 9:45, explaining what this was all about. So I can't really be any fairer than that. It's just me being accountable for what they do. Talking of accountability, here she comes.
There you go.
They pulled your tooth out?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No, next week.
She's been the dentist. She doesn't like going to the dentist.
I don't.
No. I don't like going to the dentist either. So they always hurt me. It's like being married. Always get hurt when you get married as well. Yeah. She picks on us, you know, boys and girls. All the time she picks on us.
Sure.
But yeah, all the time. She's only nice to us when she wants something, which is all the time. So have a great life. Anyway, sorry. As I was saying, everything you do is about sort of the homework and the processes you put into place. Follow those processes, the money will look after itself. Put the money first, wasting your time. So there you go. So drop in the comments, subscribe to the channel. Genuinely helps it grow, and it'd be lovely to see it grow. But if not, don't worry. I'll still be here pretty much every day, winding up the winker. And why not? So as always, guys, trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love, and the money will follow. See you all in the next one.